A very good morning to all of you all. Welcome to the second module of seventh chapter of your economics, the role of state in economic development. Now, children, before we start off with the second part of the chapter, let's have a quick recap on what we did in the last module. We spoke about, I gave you a small introduction. We spoke about economic reforms, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Now, today's topic that we are going to talk about is a role of state in promoting economic development. Now, before I start off with the points, we need to understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about role of state in promoting economic development. That means, what is the role of state? We're not talking about individual state of Haryana, Punjab, and Delhi over here. We're talking about the role of state, that is the role of government. How is government going to promote the economic development? And definitely there's a part of government which helps in promoting the development of the country. So let's start off with the first point, promoting capital formation. Capital includes only those means of production which are produced by man. For example, plant and machinery, tools and instruments. The capital formation means addition to the existing stock of capital. Capital formation may be defined as a process of adding to stock in the capital per year. So basically, capital formation is very important for the growth and development of a country. A business can only grow if it has a proper and adequate capital. The next point is economic infrastructure. Guys, I'm sure you people are aware about the term infrastructure now. So when we talk about infrastructure, we talk about physical aspects, that is roads, bridges, canals, drains, sewerage, buildings. So the development of these aspects help to run the development work more easily, and it means those basic facilities and services which directly benefit the process of production and distribution in an economy. Irrigation, power, transport, communication all adds to the society, to the development of the society, and is known as economic infrastructure. Moving on to social infrastructure, again one of the most important aspect. It's about the assets that accommodate the social service, and it also includes the services that is provided by the teachers and policemen and doctors. It plays an important role in both economic development. That means if the social infrastructure is not good, economic infrastructure will definitely be affected. It enhances the social well-being and furthers economic development by providing basic services and facilities. Society should be well settled and well nourished and should be well flourished. The next is human capital. It is a stock of habits, knowledge, social and personality attributes embodied in the ability to perform labor so as to produce economic value. Human capital is unique and differs from other capital. It is needed for companies to achieve goals, develop, and remain innovative. For example, people, if we're having companies and industries, what if the people don't work there, the human don't work there? So human work there and he work with his brain. He understands, he knows what he's doing and what he is not supposed to do. So a human is one of the main and the major factor, and which definitely adds to the development of a society. Then we have industrial development. It is the contribution from four major factors, namely the business, technology, government, and labor. And these all comprises the industrial project. They work together closely and have a cooperation and mutual understandings. Only then there can be a proper development of the society, and the government can look into the development of the society. The next one again is agricultural development, which is again very essential. It means providing assistance to the crop producers and the farmers with the help of various resources, providing protection, employment, latest techniques, and controlling pests and facility diversity, which helps the agricultural farmers to grow and develop, and so that they are able to produce the maximum output. So that leads to the again development, and again state intervention is very important. The next that we talk about will be structural changes. First, understand what is the structural changes. Structure change means there is something, a house that is changed, a plumbing that is changed, electrical wire that is changed. We are changing the structure of the complete building, or it's often to bring a dwelling or a local building standard. That means we are including something new, something different, something innovative. Same happens with the economics as well. Structural change is a shift or a change in basic ways a market or economy functions or operates. For example, a subsistence economy may be transformed into manufacturing economy or a regulated mixed economy, or can be liberalized, or can turn into capitalistic or socialistic or mixed. So this is called structural change. It means proper change has to be made according to the need. The government has to see and then it has to change accordingly. Then the next is expansion of foreign trade. Again, expansion of foreign trade is very important for the development of the country. Exports may lead to increase in national output and may become an engine of growth. Expansion of countries' foreign trade may energize an otherwise stagnant economy. If economy is stagnant, it needs to be expanded for the better, growth and prosperity. And last but not the least, population policy. The main objective to achieve a stable population at the level consistent with the requirements of sustainable economical growth, social development and environmental protection. Several policies have been formulated under FYPs that the government has put on and has put on to control the population. Now, definitely, if increasing the population is increasing, very fast, the development will again the even if the development is happening, it will not be able to reach to every individual in the country. So we need to put a check on the population control, and then we need to add on to the development of the country. So guys, I have taken all the points from the book, and the points that are given in your books are, I think there are 12 and I've covered 10, so it's more than enough. The easiest one I've picked up. So I wish and I hope that this video will be useful to you people and you have understood what I wanted you to teach. Now there are certain things, certain terminologies in the video which is already known to you, like infrastructure and human capital. So it's just a one-time read from your book. Please take care of yourselves and wait for the next video. Thank you so much.